There we go.
All
right, cool. So welcome, guys. I'm so excited to see everybody that's here. Looks like we've got a few people over here as well, so that's really exciting. We do have some, just so that you guys know, for virtual, we have somebody just off to the side. So if you put anything into the chat, or if you want to say anything and you're not heard, Corey will stop me and she'll kind of be like, hey, we have a question, and we can go from there. So volume toggle is right here.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna kind of start with introductions of just kind of like who I am, who Corey is, and stuff like that. So I'm Teresa. I'm the one who has been posting about this since like December when all of this first came to fruition. So I am the president of the Future Sitters Club. I have had over a decade of childcare experience. I started as a teen sitter myself. Started in kind of like that neighborhood environment that we were kind of talking about when you first came in here, where everybody kind of knew each other and we were just kind of all helping each other out, 13-year-olds running around the neighborhood, taking care of kids, doing what we could. Essentially just kind of like playing, right? So kind of did all of that and then moved into professional nanny right at 18, kind of been doing that for a while. And then a few years ago moved into birth work. So I heard you were old labor delivery nurse. That's exciting. Exciting. Yeah. So I deal with I'm a postpartum doula, so I deal with newborns and all of that stuff nowadays, but I do have lots of experience with ages of, all of the ages from 0 all the way up to like 15. So yeah, that's
17 now.
yeah, 16 and 17-year-olds are out of my ballpark, but usually they don't need babysitters, right? So it's kind of like so yeah, I am a mom myself to a special needs son. He is 7 now, and he is goes to Syrie, so he's here in local, and we love it here. And this community is like so amazing. We've been here for a year, and we just absolutely adore it. So I'm really happy that we've been able to come up with this thing to hopefully kind of help the community and fill some needs that haven't been filled yet, and kind of get everybody connected in a way that haven't been connected in a long time. So yeah, that's a little bit about me, and I'll let Corey kind of have the floor and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Corey Heisman. I too have been in the childcare field for a long time. I started, of course, when I was in high school, babysitting and nannying through college, and then I also nannied once I had my just after I had my son. He's 20 now. And then I ran a daycare in my home when we lived in Snohomish County. I did that for 6 years, and then I had my daughter. When they were like a little older, we moved down south, and I did a couple other things here and there. And then a little over a year ago, I started nannying again. So I'm a current nanny for a family with 3 little ones, 4, 2, and 6 months. So it's been a lot of fun to be back in the nanny world, and I was really excited to hear about Teresa in this program that she's been developing, because I will often be asked, as a career, or I've been doing this for so long, where can you get quality education for, because kids these days want to run things by someone, or they have questions, and sometimes you can't do that through an online program. So I've been really excited. I attended her first mentor meeting, and now I'm going to be her, I'm going to be the treasurer for the program, and also probably a mentor, helping to develop the curriculum and so forth. So really excited to see you guys here, and please feel free to ask any questions. We're here, and we also want to let you know that this is a developing program. While there's a lot of it that's laid out, we might need to be making some refinements to some things, and we look forward to the adventure and opportunity to help you guys. So thank you.
Yeah, like Corey was saying, it is an ever evolving program, right? Like the definition of a nonprofit is something that serves the community. So it's really important to me to make sure that we are serving the community. So something that we're really wanting to do is make sure that we're hearing from the community through feedback and things like that. And we will be changing things, you know, based on what would be best for community, what works best as far as all of the red tape that, you know, we are approaching as we figure all of this stuff out. So if we appreciate your patience as we like, you know, figure it all out and work on it, but it's pretty exciting. So we're gonna kind of go through a little bit about like what it is and all of that stuff today. So kind of starting with like what our mission statement is and kind of, you know, what we're mostly about is to empower and educate teens of all genders who are passionate or curious about childcare by providing comprehensive training, mentorship, and real-world experience. Our program fosters personal growth, community engagement, and professional readiness, helping young caregivers develop the confidence, skills, and support they need to thrive in childcare and beyond. So that's our goal. That's what we want to do, is make sure that we are fostering, you know, the growth of their career development. And it doesn't have to necessarily be career in, you know, babysitting. Sometimes you get through this and you realize that this is just going to be a really great moneymaker in college. And that's great. This can look great on college applications. This can be, you know, an extra thing if you want to go to college or whatever it is you're planning on doing with your life. So before we kind of jump into how it works, I kind of want to ask, like, go around to you guys and kind of have you guys introduce yourself and all of that if you're comfortable. So I'm going to start front center with main character energy right here. Yeah.
All right. Hi, I'm Mackenzie Brady. I am 13 years old and go to Kellogg Middle School. I have never really had much experience babysitting. The most I've done is babysat my sister and along with her friend, like at my house while the parents are out or whatever.
Yeah.
And like sometimes and then I can babysit myself too.
There you go. Okay, cool. What are you kind of most excited about when it comes to this program and what?
Well, I love helping people. I like kids too, but I like helping people more than kids. So, I've always had an interest in just helping people out, even in just little ways. I've always taken an interest in like in social justice, and volunteering in the community is kind of the first step into getting into that.
Yeah, I love that. I think that a good first step is definitely getting into the community and kind of getting into houses and talking to parents. And it can be very helpful to have someone come watch your kid for a little while as a parent. Like that could be that little helpful thing that you're talking about. That could be a world of difference with some parents. That's something we're kind of trying to fill the gap, is also trying to provide some like affordable care for some parents that can't necessarily afford the like mine and Corey's rates, which are upwards of like $30+ an hour. So these kind of lower rates kind of help fill that gap a little bit and allow not necessarily nannies to be in homes at lower rates, but to kind of give parents like a date night here and there so that they can breathe, because that's really important. So I love that. That's awesome. Throw it for you guys.
My name's Fiora. I'm 12 years old. I go to Hazelwood PA Middle School or PA School. I have a few experiences of doing mother's helping from ages like younger than 1 to 7.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
And yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So what are you kind of most excited about when it comes to this program?
I'm excited because I really like kids. Like I like taking care of littler kids.
Yeah.
And I like babysitting. And then it's also I like having a little extra spending money.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And then I'm also excited for this because it'll give me experience. Because when I'm older, I want to be a teacher.
Oh, that's so
Good.
cool. That's
Love that.
awesome. Yeah, our secretary who was not able to be here today was actually a teacher, so she would be a great person to connect with and talk to about that. So, cool. And back there?
13 from Kellogg, and I'm excited for this for the money.
Great.
I love it. I love the honesty.
I think he's also really good with kids, and I want
Yeah.
to foster
Yeah.
that access.
Yeah.
To build confidence within.
That's awesome. Yeah, we can come at it from a parental perspective, and then you get some money out of it, right? Love that. Cool. Okay. Do we want to introduce ourselves on virtual, or are you guys wanting to? I know some of them are like volleyball games. Okay, we'll kind of move on. If anybody wants to introduce themselves, just put in the chat and we'll stop, and Corey can let you guys introduce yourself. So just let us know and we'll stop and do that. So we are going to kind of go into this little pamphlet thing that you guys have. This is kind of like our step-by-step how it's going to work for you guys from like the very beginning all the way to the very end. This is kind of how the program is intended to work. So the first thing that you guys are going to do is you're going to go onto the website, and you get to apply there. You can hit the little get involved tab, and there will be all of the, applications. There's teen applications, just so that parents know. There's also mentor applications. There's also applications, or interest forms for you to be part of the fundraising team. Also, if you wanted to be a board member and you wanted to have, some voice in the program, that's also something that's on there. So you can fill out those forms if you're interested. So once you submit those applications, that application, you're gonna just provide some of your personal details, kind of like your school, your grade level, what your age is. You're also gonna put in there some like references and some other information. So references are gonna be like, we're gonna talk to your parents, just to kind of make sure that they kind of know that you are part of this program, and all of the things. And then we're also going to ask for two like community references. So this can be like a teacher, this can be a coach, this can be somebody at school that knows you well, like, the office lady that you spend a lot of time with because you're that kid that likes to hang out in the front office, so that's fine. So, like whatever adult in the community that can attest to the fact that you are, responsible enough to be able to go into somebody else's home and take care of another little kid, right? This program is to educate you guys and make sure that you are getting the education, but we're also keeping in mind that there are little ones involved. So we want to make sure that we are kind of vetting everybody as much as we can so that everybody is safe. So once you fill out those applications and you get all of that stuff, you'll be able to, I'll review them, or somebody in the program will review them, and we will let you know within 1 week whether you've been accepted or declined. I say declined just because there's some people are out of our range right now. We're only in North Seattle and Shoreline, Lake Forest Park. We just don't have the capacity to expand out of that. So that is kind of like why I say accepted or declined. So we'll let you know within 1 week. We'll kind of schedule an interview with you guys, with the teen. For those interviews, we really want to encourage parents to be part of that virtual interview. Anything where a teen is going to be on camera, we want to encourage parents to be a part of. If that's something that you don't want to be a part of, that's totally fine, but we're going to have you sign a consent form just stating that that the interview is going on and all of that stuff. We want to make sure everyone's knowledgeable about what's happening. So after that interview with the staff member, we're going to go ahead and check references. We'll call the parents, guardian, whoever it is that you also did for your community references. We'll talk to them, and then we'll send an email or a phone call to parents and we'll be like, you're accepted. And we will get you onboarded, and that is going to look like an orientation, which is just going to be, it can be virtual, it can be in person, kind of like whatever works best for everybody's schedule. And in this orientation, that will kind of get more details about learning about the program expectations, understanding the level structure, graduation requirements. You get connected with your mentor at this point. Our mentors are all childcare professionals. They're all people like me and Corey that have been doing this for a really long time and are have lots of experience. Yeah.
Two things. One, are we each gonna have our own individual mentor?
Mhm.
And when we say like someone in the community, they have to be like, they have to be their needs
Do they have to be what?
within our area.
Do you mean a teen participant or
No,
your
the
reference?
reference, yes.
Oh, no, I wouldn't
No,
say so.
yeah, as long
It
as
can be
it's
anyone that you've
as long
worked
as it's
with.
an adult.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have,
that's
because I have a teacher in that I had in 6th grade, and she now lives in Texas.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
for
that
sure.
would work.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
long as they know you, as long as they can attest to the fact that you are responsible enough to go and do these things, then that's totally fine. Yeah, I think that's great.
Good question.
Yeah, great question. So yeah, everybody will get their own individual mentor, not to say that every mentor only has one teen, but each teen will have their own mentor that they're able to contact throughout the whole process, whether having questions doing classes or whether they have questions while they're at the actual houses. So you'll meet your mentor at that point, and then we'll also get any like last minute information that we need for your database profile. This is an internal database profile, so any information is only accessible by like me and Corey. There's nobody else will have access to that. So that'll be where we put all of the information and keep that so that it's private and safe for you guys. So after you guys have the orientation and all of that is kind of, something else we talk about in orientation is level assignment. So level assignment, usually you're gonna start at either level 0 or level 1. Level 0 is for kids that are like 10, 11, 12, that are going to be kind of more that mommy's helper, type thing. Once you hit 13 is when you're able to kind of go and have, is when you're able to go in and have hands-on experience without supervision. So mommy's helpers are like, mommy's around. So that is kind of more what the level 0 is. So you stay at level 0 until you graduate by age. And then most everybody else starts at level 1. Level 1 is just kind of, begins that hands-on caregiving. You have some placements, and you kind of go through the education and kind of like learn how it all starts. You get to learn some developmental stuff about kids, kind of go through all of that. And after you complete some, quizzes and tests, you get to level up and stuff like that. The quizzes and tests, I know that sounds kind of like school. I know it sounds dumb. They're really quick. They are literally like 2 or 3 questions just to make sure that you listen to the video. It's very easy. And then to be able to progress on to the next level, there is like an end of level assignment, like test thing. This is something that can be different than like you sitting down and writing a test. Like if we need to do something different so that it's more successful for your student, for you as a student, then that's totally fine. I am an alternative learner as well myself. I hate taking tests. So just communicate with us and we'll work on something different. So it's not like school and it's not boring. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're trying to make it fun. So if we do, I know that we're gonna get some people that have a lot more experience and they're just kind of coming to kind of like hone their career a little bit. That's totally fine. For people that are coming in and kind of having more experience and wanting to start at higher than level 1, they can totally do that. They just need to pass that like end of level test to be able to show that they have the knowledge needed to, provide the care that we're wanting for different levels. Different families have different levels based on like how complicated their care is. So like Corey's family with 3 kids under 6 is going to be a little bit higher of a level than like my one son, so things like that. So if you pass those tests and you're able to go on, then you can start at whatever level is, we see fit for that, and you just kind of move on at your own pace. This is at your own pace, so it's not something that like there's no deadline. You don't have to get it done by this amount of time. You just kind of do it as you can get the experience, as you can get the classes. For you to advance up in levels, you have to have a certain number of hours experience with with different families. Different families can't all be at one house. We're encouraging you to kind of like jump around into different situations. We really want you guys to get as much experience as you can with as many different experiences as you can, if that makes sense. So that's kind of how you advance through the levels. For the program participation, for trainings and workshops, a lot of, like I said, is going to be online videos. These online videos are done by like me, Corey, other childcare professionals that have been doing this for a long time, and are kind of giving our knowledge and all of that, all things like that. Like I said, the test at the end is very, very quick. It's just going to be a few questions just to kind of make sure we're retaining that information. But all of the classes are going to kind of fall under like kind of 5 areas. It's going to be about one of the 5 things. It's going to be child development, safety and emergency response, child engagement and activity planning, communication and professionalism. And then towards the end, like towards level 3 is where we get into that career development. Level 3 really focuses on kind of teaching you how to make your business email, get on care.com, make your resume look good, how to interview with families, how to, really work on, the things of being a professional nanny, basically. So for family placements, the teens are going to be matched with families based on their level. So as kind of was talking about different families based on what they're needing and how complicated their needs are, is going to be different levels of all of that. So you'll be matched with that. After the family kind of chooses their teen or they're matched with their teen, you guys will have a virtual interview with the family. This is the same thing as the virtual interview with us. We really encourage parents to be a part of that. We want parents to also sit in on it. We will have a staff member that sits in on all interviews between teens and families, and this is to kind of make sure that things are kind of steering in the right direction. We want to make sure that, you know, questions are staying about what we want them to stay about. And then it'll also allow us to give some good feedback to teens about interviews so that as they go on, they're able to kind of learn and they're not thrown into the world with no interview experience like I was. So the family will let the teen know within 72 hours after the interview if they wish to move forward or not. And if they do wish to move forward, then that means moving on to a working interview. This working interview is going to be about an hour long. And it's just where you go into the home and you are there for an hour with your mentor to kind of make sure that everything feels right. We want to make sure that you're getting along with the family, family's getting along with you, the kids are what the family says they are. You know, we want to make sure everybody's kind of vibing in a good way. So that's why we kind of do that 1 hour working interview and have hopefully the mentor, but if mentor is not available, a staff member will be there just for that working interview. So that working interview, we encourage parents to drive kids to working interview, kind of know where your teen is at, and that goes for any jobs therefore after. We want you to know where your teen is. So if you ever had questions about, you know, where your teen was, you could always ask us. We will always have kind of our plan, at least, is to have schedules and know where teens are at all times. But hopefully you can also communicate with your teen and kind of they can let you know where they will be as well. So for that interview, at least kind of driving them there and kind of making sure that you know where they are and the area and all of that stuff. After that, it's going to be kind of the same thing. 72 hours, they'll let you know if they want to move forward. If the working interview goes well, then you just kind of go into babysitting for them. That looks like date nights. That looks like going over on the weekend. We'll be doing this, you know, over the summer as well. So like kind of hanging out during the day while parents are doing whatever it is that they do. Family placements start at that point, basically. So something that we will make sure that the families know and that you guys know as well is that teens are not going to be on their cell phones while we're working in the homes. So we're going to ask teens to check their phones periodically every 30 minutes to an hour, but they're not going to be on their phones looking. So like if responses are delayed, that's going to be kind of why we're going to let families know that. We want parents to know that as well, that responses will be a little delayed just because we're trying to keep off of phones as much as possible while we're in, you know, the caregiving environment. Yeah, so as far as rates and what teens will get paid, which is what you guys definitely want to know about. For level 0, it kind of starts really, really low. It starts at just that $10 an hour, and that's where a parent is always going to be there. A parent is always going to be within earshot. That doesn't mean that like they're going to be in a meeting and you're not going to be able to get in contact with them. If you need something, it's like the parent is going to be there, is going to be able to supervise and kind of give you tips and help you through any issues that are happening. And then from there on up, it kind of goes up. Washington State's minimum wage for individuals 15 and under is $14.16 an hour. So that's why that number is that. So for level 1, you start at $14.16 an hour. That's just your base rate, right? So if how it works in the nannying world is you have your base rate and it goes up based on how many kids there are, how difficult the care needed is, things like that. So 14.16 would be your base rate. And then if there are extra kids, you would like add on $1. You know, that's something that you can speak with your mentor about and kind of work out on that level. After you graduate from level 1 to level 2, you go up to 16.66 an hour. And that's just kind of 16 and older minimum wage is 16.66. So that's why that number is that. It is a very weird specific number. The government is weird.
It's like 1665, no, 1666.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they probably worked hard for that sentence. So. All right, and then once you get past that to level 3, is you're going to get up to like $18 an hour. This is where we're really honing in, like I said, on your career and the development of everything that is your nannying career. And that's when you'll be getting more complicated families, which is why the rate is kind of a little bit higher. After every babysitting job, every interview, everything, feedback is collected from families. Mentors will read that feedback and relay that information to teens. It's never going to be like a family to teen direct, what's the word I'm looking for?
Communication.
Yes,
Sure.
thank you so much. Yes, direct communication between the families and the teen as far as like how we're structuring the feedback. We want to make sure that we're structuring it in a way that is helpful for the teens. So the mentors will go over any feedback forms and then they'll kind of like talk to teens and they'll go from there in figuring out if there's any adjustments that need to be made or anything that needs to be learned or any videos that need to be watched again or anything like that.
Can be addressed.
Yeah, so for ongoing mentorship, after your, just like what your mentor is going to be doing, they're gonna provide you guidance through the time throughout their work, throughout your guys' time you're working with families. So you have a question while you're at a house, you can text them. You have a question while you're going through classes, you can kind of text them. They're gonna check in with you once a month. At least, if you guys want to check in more than that and your mentor is available, that's awesome. Please check in with them more, but minimum, we're gonna try and check in at least one time a month. So this just kind of like helps the teens set personal development goals and making sure that we're hitting them and getting them as much support. Like Corey said, teens these days like to kind of ask questions and check by things with people, and I love that. It's great that they want more knowledge, so we have somebody here to walk you through it. That's kind of the goal for that. So we kind of already talked a little bit about level advancement, just kind of what you need to get through all of that. As far as hands-on hours with families, I believe for level 1, it's like 20 hours, level 2 is like 50, and then I think level 3 to graduate is like 100. And that's cumulative, like once you go up a level, your 20 hours counts towards your 50, so you just need like an extra 30 kind of thing. That will be in your orientation packet that you get whenever you apply and go through the interviews and all of that. You'll get your orientation packet that has all of that information kind of like written out so that you have it physically as well. Yeah.
So I have the pamphlet, top of step 6 family placements. It says once completed course aid training plus CPR certification. Would that, this whole like program involve the CPR training?
Yeah, so for right now, just while we're getting started up, you guys are going to be responsible for getting that CPR certification. They could be online through Red Cross. It doesn't have to be an in-person. It can be really easy like that. We are hoping one day that we will have enough teens and enough people coming in that will be able to do like group CPR classes and things like that. But for right now, it's just something that you guys kind of are trying to go in and.
I was
get
just
it.
wondering, because I had actually, I've already done like an all-day babysitting class through Red Cross.
Yeah.
For Girl Scouts, and that did involve CPR training, so I was wondering if that counted,
It did or didn't?
if it did count.
No, I'm sorry, did you do CPR and first aid?
Yes.
Oh, cool, okay, so it depends on how long ago it was, because that will expire.
Every 2 years.
Yeah.
It was a year.
I feel like that was in 6th grade.
Okay, well, yeah,
That probably counts then. Yeah, we
Yeah.
just need to see the little certificate thing or
yeah,
whatever it is proving that you did it, and that works.
Find out what that is.
Yeah,
it's probably online.
yeah, you can get it on your profile. too.
Here's your Girl Scout badge, bye.
Yeah, so that CPR certification is going to be required before you go into any home at all, as like by yourself. Mommy's Helpers doesn't necessarily have to have that CPR certification, but if you're going to be by yourself with a kid, the CPR first aid is really important for everybody to have when they go into a home. So yeah, so just kind of finishing up at the highest level, the teens will be able to take on advanced caregiving roles. This looks like really complex family dynamics and scheduling. You can also have the opportunity to mentor kind of younger caregivers, the mommy helpers, the level 1s, things like that. At the very, very end of the program, you're gonna be asked and you will be helped. Your mentor will help you as well to create something called a capstone project. This is just like a really big project that kind of ends your program. This in college often looks like a really long, boring report. For us, this just means helping us organize a fundraiser or do, some big, thing. We haven't really figured out exactly what the capstone project will be yet. We're kind of open to whatever the teen thinks would be really great. We just want it to make sure it's a large event that helps the community. That's kind of like our main goal with the capstone project. Okay. So after you complete all of that, you will graduate. You'll get a little graduation ceremony where we will celebrate your accomplishments. We'll kind of give you like a little certificate. You'll also get a little portfolio. The portfolio is going to have letters of recommendations from your mentor, any letter of recommendations from families, all of the care that you've done, your resume, all of the, professional work that we've done, anything and everything that you've done will be in a little packet that you'll receive. You'll get both a visible and a digital version, just in case you lose it or you want to download it somewhere. But I think physical versions can be kind of nice sometimes. So you'll also get like a nice little portfolio for you to be able to go, as well with your like certificate of completion, and things like that. So yeah, that we were hoping that once the program gets more well known and things like that, that little certificate of completion will be something that families will be looking for and really interested in seeking out people like younger caregivers who have this certification, knowing that they are well educated and that they're going to take really good care of their kids. So that's the end goal for that. After graduation, you have the opportunity to do be part of the alumni network. This is something where you can just kind of stay connected with other peers, other alumni who have graduated. You can also get the opportunity to kind of talk with other mentors. You could be a mentor for younger kids as well. You serve as guest speakers for like workshops and things like that. And you also will have an option to add your name to a list on the website of our alumni that'll have your contact information. You have to be 18 or older to have your contact information on the website, just because it will be public information. We don't want to put any teenager information on the website. So for that alumni network, once you graduate and are 18, we'll put your information on there. You can get contacted by families that are looking on our website and like, oh, this looks like a good caregiver. Go from there. So yeah, once after, you graduate, you don't have to come back. You don't have to do anything with the program, but once you do graduate the program, we really encourage you guys to come back, volunteer, mentor, check in, just be like, hey, look what I'm doing now with my life. Like I personally am so excited to see what teens do with this after the program. Like this program is really, really exciting, but I'm also really excited to see what happens after. So I really want everybody to come back and be like, Teresa, look what I did. Look at this amazing thing that I created, this amazing business. I'm doing so well. Like that as a mom makes me like so happy. So please come back in any way you possibly can. So yeah, that's kind of all of the stuff that I wanted to go over. I don't know if Corey has anything she wants to add.
Yeah.
And then we can kind of do questions and stuff like that.
Sure, I think, we didn't have a chance to cover this, I don't think, but there will be a team membership fee.
Oh, yes.
It matches, I think we just kind of left this out of our outline.
Yes,
It
sorry.
does match the family's fee at $30 a month. So this helps cover our costs for Thinkific, which is the program for the education, plus all of our other administrative costs like flyers and we also have might have to pay a tax to prepare. So yeah, there's costs, and we're working on fundraising as well, but that's kind of what your participation fee would be, is $30 a month.
Yes, and that participation fee would start on the first of the month after you're accepted into the program. So like the first is coming up, right? But we're all applying. So once teens start getting accepted, it won't be until like the first of
next month.
What is this, March, April? So like May 1st would be, if you do it in April, you'll start May 1st kind of thing. If that makes sense.
Yes.
So yeah. Thank you, Corey. I did forget.
Sure,
I
sure,
did forget to mention that.
Mhm.
Most of this information, as far as like the dues and being able to apply and stuff, is on the website. I am also always adding stuff to the website, more information, more things as we grow and as we build. So there will be some form of this kind of step-by-step process on the website eventually. But for now, we are just kind of open to applications. You can apply on the website under, like I said, that Get Involved tab, and we'll be getting back to people within the next like week or so. We're so excited for all of this to start, and I love that we had 6 people here and interested and wanting to know more. So after you guys apply, I will probably be the one that's contacting you guys and setting up interviews and things like that, and we'll kind of go from there.
Any questions?
Do you have a feel for what the highest demand would be, like the mother helper versus like date night versus some other one of wing?
Yeah, the community research that I've been doing, it seems like there is a lot more interest for like babysitters and things like that. But I also think that a lot of people that see our program are thinking that I don't think mother helpers is exactly what they're thinking right off the bat. So I think that it's not because there's not an interest. I think that they just don't know that it's an option yet. So that's something that I think we personally could also do a little bit more advertising on and all of that. But the hope is that we'll be able to give experience, just as much experience to the mother's helpers as we will for the other ones, because we do have quite a lot of interest for the mother helper age group. So yeah.
What's the like classes, training situation gonna be like? Is it gonna be like what get together as a group and do it, or is it gonna be the one-on-one thing?
Yeah, so the Thinkific platform that Corey was talking about is an online learning
Oh, okay.
platform. So they're able to go on and they'll like watch videos. The videos are just taught by like me, Corey, Zoe, who is our an actual teacher, and all of that. So we'll be putting on those videos and then having the short little quiz afterwards. That is going to be all online and done at your own pace.
Okay.
So whenever they finish the core classes for the the level they're on, then they don't have to touch Thinkific again until they get their family hours, and then they kind of move on. We'll also have some like extra resources on Thinkific as well that the teens will be able to access, just like Red Cross information and things like that. So it'll mostly be online. There will also be in-person workshops as we can kind of like make them happen.
Right.
The in-person workshops are going to be kind of like as we can find people to come in and volunteer their time to kind of put on workshops for teens, and that could be workshops like let's make snack time fun, like fun workshops, things like that. So
Yeah.
those will be kind of like in a room like this where there will be someone standing up here and all the teens will be, hanging out, and we'll do the workshop in person.
Yeah.
But for the core classes that teens are required to do, it's all online. It's all however fast or slow they want to do it or can't do it. So yeah.
Great.
Yeah, your team is gonna be unavailable for a chunk of time, is there a pause they're due?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, they're not.
Yeah, I think that we need to do a little bit of probably talking on our end on how to make all of that work, but I think that is reasonable, yeah.
I think on a monthly basis, like, so if you pause it for January, and gave us an idea when you might pick it up, and we would just pause your payments for that time period,
Yeah, I think that if the payments were paused, you probably would lose access to the Thinkific. But that's, it's definitely something that will happen for kids. I know that a lot of kids will only be able to do this, will only have the bandwidth to do this over summer.
Yeah.
And it's kind of be the same thing where it's like, we'll have you doing it during summer, and then after summer we can pause and we'll have a list to get back in contact with you once the school year's over, and we can kind of start up then. That's a question in the application for the teens, whether they want to do just summer or if they want to do year round. So yeah.
Does Thinkific have an app, or is it just a website?
It is just a website, but I have taken lots of classes online, and you can like just go online through the browser app on your phone, and it's really user friendly to still do it on your phone, like still scrolling.
like mobile friendly.
It's very mobile friendly. It is online, but as long as you have like a smartphone of some sorts, you'll be able to you should be able to do it. I don't have issues when I take like all of my classes that I do for my birth work and stuff on there, so it should be okay. Yeah.
I forgot about that. My parents have like time limits on all my stuff because I guess I'm a screenager.
I haven't heard that term before.
Oh yeah, that's a friendly insult we use a lot in middle school when our friends are walking with their phone and like, they bump into somebody or like they bump into a wall.
Yeah.
We're like screenager. They're like.
Yes.
Do we have a question on the chat?
Yeah, I'm sorry, we missed this. Are the families that your tween or teen are the families that your teen or tween will babysit for vetted
Yes.
somehow?
Yeah, so the families that the teens are going to be going into their house, this is on our end. Before teens are ever going into their house, we have a staff member go into their home and do a safety check just to make sure that everything in the home looks okay. We also background check every single person in the home over 18. That means grandpa, that means big brother, that means like, and then we tell them house cleaners can't even come in the house if a teen is there. So we make sure that yes, everybody is vetted to the highest, nationally. We are vetting people and families to make sure that everybody is as safe as possible. So that's a really great question.
And then
Yeah.
schedules for the babysitter would come through the website or?
As far as how the teens are going to be scheduling with families, I think that we're trying to have it be more of a family to teen scheduling thing so that we
Yeah.
can keep it as real world as possible.
Okay.
But that comes with
Cause then how would the mentor, like, so then your team needs to talk to the mentor. and
Yeah.
tell them, I
Yeah.
have these days.
Yep.
available."
Then we
Yeah, so that-
communicate with the mentor
yeah,
as
that's the-
to, I have this coming up, and maybe the mentor will be like, okay, how are you preparing beforehand? And, so forth.
Yeah, they'll
And
also
then
need to keep track of their
debrief.
hours and we'll probably have a form for families to sign proving that they were there and things like that. So that will also help for like knowledge on our end of where the teens are and things like that.
We have another question. Let's see. Did we say that the level 0 sitters will always have parents go with them?
No,
No.
not the sitters' parents going with them, it's that the kids' parents. So like the kids that the teens are watching, the baby's mom is going to be
Yeah.
within the vicinity to make sure that the teen has that support. You as parents aren't going to
Be
be
babysitting.
babysitting at all. No, the mommy's helpers is just like the parent of the minor that the teen is watching has to be present. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Maya, sorry.
No, you're good. My friends always make jokes.
Do we answer your questions? Oh, good. She says thank you.
Sweet. Oh, all right. Are there any other questions? Any other comments? Anything you think? Question, comments, concerns?
Are the mentors volunteered or are they paid?
Right now they're volunteered. Once we get the kind of like funding and grants and get some more fundraising, it's one of our first priorities to make the mentors a paid thing, because we really value the time of mentors and how much, emotion and energy that can take to kind of take a little one under your wing and
Shake a little one under your wing, or shake a little one under there.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Have a wing.
Yeah, so like what the Russian dolls or whatever.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And are you looking at for families that need help, or are you looking for them now also?
That application opens up in a month. We have a meeting for all of the families coming up. I believe it's on May 3rd. It's on the website. And that the applications will open probably just a few days before that meeting, similar to how it worked for this meeting. We just want to make sure that we have enough like bandwidth to get all of the interviews at once, so we're kind of like staggering it a little bit. So the education for teens will open up, I believe, at the end of April. That exact date is also on the website. And that is when Thinkific will officially open and when teens can start learning and doing all of that stuff. And then I believe family placements start on June 1st. That is also on the website. I'm sorry, I didn't write that down. All of that is on the website under events and stuff. We are trying to fundraise. So even if you don't want to be part of the fundraising team, on the fundraising form, there is like a little section for you to put in like ideas about fundraisers. We would love to hear your ideas for fundraisers and anything like that, because that's something that we always need more ideas for, because we need lots of fundraising and lots of support from the community. There is also a place on the website to donate to the nonprofit. So if anybody wants to support our effort by donating some money on the website,
Really
we can do
appreciate
that
it.
as well. Yeah, we would really, really appreciate it. And yeah, if you guys have any questions as far as like anything that you think of later and you didn't get to, I am on Facebook, that group that you can get in contact with me through that. There is also on this little flyer, if you guys make sure that you take one. There is the email and the website and all of that, so that you can get in contact. My phone number is also on the website, but email is probably a little bit better to get in contact with me, so. Yeah. Cool.
Well, any
Thank
other
you so
questions
much.
here online? Wait just a few minutes, or you guys can sign off, but I think that's good. Feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions in the
Yeah.
future.
And then you guys, please take some flyers and put them up around your community, put them up around your neighborhood. I printed out extras so that you guys could each take a little handful and kind of spread them out. So please, like, if you have a local coffee shop, if you have, you know, a library that's closer to you than this one, something anywhere in your community, please put those up so that we can get the word out and get as much interest as we can so that we can get the community back together again. Yeah.
They're asking if they can get a flyer.
Oh, yeah, I will post the flyer on the Facebook group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will make sure to do that. And then the email. That is the email that I just put in the chat. So if you have any questions and can't find the flyer, that email is where you can send that to. Any questions or anything like that. So, cool. Perfect. Thank you so much for coming, guys.
Thank
This has been
you.
Really awesome.
It was nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you guys too. Thank you so much for all this work. This is a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's been great. It's been fun to set up and put together and all of that. So, can I get the kiddos' names one more time so that I can remember? Mackenzie, Fiora, Marcus. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully we will see your applications in soon. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Please take flyers on your way out. Give them to people.
Everybody's gone, but. Sorry, I don't.